Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure once again to welcome you to today's ThinkyHearts webinar. My name is Jumoke, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. On behalf of ThinkyHearts, I would like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for taking the time to be with us today. Whether you're joining us as a business owner, an engineer, entrepreneur, energy professional, policymaker, student, researcher, or you're simply someone interested in the future of energy, we're delighted to have you with us. Today's webinar is titled The Business of Energy, How Businesses Can Make Smarter Power Decisions. At ThinkyHearts, we're committed to creating spaces where knowledge meets practical action. Through conversations like today's, we aim to connect industry experts with professionals, students, entrepreneurs, and organizations seeking practical solutions to today's energy challenges. So today's topic is especially important as businesses continue looking for ways to reduce energy costs, improve operational efficiency, and make smarter long-term investments. So let me just give a brief overview about ThinkyHearts for those of us who are joining for the first time. Welcome to ThinkyHearts. So ThinkyHearts is an Africa-rooted platform dedicated to advancing sustainability, innovation, education, and community impact. Through webinars like this, expert discussions, and collaborative projects, we bring together industry leaders, researchers, educators, entrepreneurs, and change makers to share knowledge and inspire practical solutions to real-world challenges. We are delighted you've chosen to learn with us today. Now, I'll be introducing our speaker. It is my pleasure to introduce and welcome back Ms. Chisom Okoye. She is no stranger to the ThinkyHearts community, and many of you may remember our previous ThinkyHearts sessions demystifying solar hybrid solutions from basics to business impact. And she also had a follow-up part 2 session, which are both available on our YouTube channel at ThinkyHearts. She simplified complex technical concepts and helped our audience better understand solar hybrid energy systems. I highly recommend watching the replays of these sessions on our YouTube channel. So today, Chisom returns to build on that foundation by exploring the business side of energy and how organizations can make smarter power decisions that drive efficiency, resilience, and sustainable growth. Chisom is a renewable energy professional with over 6 years of experience helping organizations unlock the value of sustainable power solutions. She currently serves as Business Development Manager, Solar Hybrid Systems at JNG Limited, where she works with businesses to develop reliable and cost-effective energy solutions. Our professional experience also includes leadership roles at Starsight Energy, Clean Tech Hub Nigeria, and as a renewable energy consultant, giving her a broad perspective across the renewable energy sector. Academically, she holds a master's degree in engineering and management from Coventry University and a Bachelor of Engineering in Petroleum Engineering from the University of Aberdeen. What makes Chisom's work particularly impactful is her ability to bridge the gap between technical expertise and business strategy, helping organizations understand not just the technology, but the real business value of investing in smarter energy solutions. We're delighted to have her back with us for today's session. Please join me in giving a warm ThinkyHearts welcome to Ms. Chisom Okoye. Chisom, thank you for joining us once again, and we're excited to learn from your experience. Over to you.
Wow, thank you so much, Jumoke. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the really warm welcome. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like I normally say, thank you for choosing to spend your lunchtime hour with me. You probably will be eating some nice smoky jollof rice right now, but you're here. So thank you so much. And today is a Friday. I really appreciate it. All right, so today's topic, as Jumoke has honestly done such an amazing job of giving an introduction to it. So today we're going to be talking about the business of energy, how businesses can make smarter power decisions. And again, needless to say, it's no news that power is very, very essential to every business, even beyond owning a business, a homeowner, our day-to-day lives. We need energy, we need power. For our buildings, to get work done, to keep satisfying our customers. So the importance of energy and power really cannot be overemphasized. So today I'm just going to try my best to run through the things from my experience, right, that I have seen that help businesses and help individuals make the better and the best energy decisions. So we're in the business of helping businesses, helping people make smarter energy decisions. All right. So, I mean, why is it even necessary to talk about this, right? Why does this conversation matter? I mean, just think about it. I've heard different things. Businesses, factories, industries, even at home, we spend millions are spent, but still they experience downtime. They spend a lot of money on grid, on generator, on power sources, but still in a day, they may have an hour, 30 minutes downtime. And those downtimes, the cost per business it differs. 1 minute downtime to a business may seem insignificant, but a 1 minute downtime to another business could cost them, thousands of naira, millions of dollars. People install solar, but still they have to rely so much on diesel. It's like, this solar system I have, why? But I put solar now. Should we say solar is the way to go? Why am I still spending so much on diesel? Why am I not seeing a reduction in my diesel cost, right? Why do some people invest in solar and their investment works? Because if you partook of our previous series, my previous sessions on ThinkyHearts, right, one of the things I emphasize is we need to see solar as an investment. Solar is not something that you just say, I just want to buy today. It's an investment, right? So that's the right mindset. Why are some investments successful and then some others, they just look like this expensive disappointment? I just spend this money for nothing, right? So today's session, we're really going to try to understand the decisions, the key to making the right decisions when it comes to power. And this is not just about the technology, right? Like I like to say, this is not a technical session, right? I'm a business development manager, so we talk softly, we talk about the soft aspects of power, right? There are no technical equations or anything here, so just relax. We'll run through it very quickly, and it's something that you would enjoy. I hope so. Right. So, what is the current Nigerian energy reality? This is a simple funnel diagram, right? So we have grid reliability, fuel volatility, diesel costs. So our national grid, it's really, the reliability is, I don't know what percentage to put it, but then we cannot rely on the grid. We know it's actually highly unreliable. Fuel volatility, let's not even talk about it. The difference in fuel costs from last year, 2 years ago, up to now, both in even normal PMS and diesel power, it's a lot. Diesel costs as well. So we really have as a business, you have no control over this grid reliability. You have no control over the volatility of fuel. You have no control over the cost. Now, if you put all of this into our funnel, what do we get at the end of the day, right? Lots of business interruptions. There's lost production, as a business person, even for somebody who runs your business from home, right? Like maybe you're probably thinking, okay, me, I don't have a factory now. I don't run a business as such, but you could be a small business owner, run your business from home. And I'm sure power is very important to you. And then, of course, not even forgetting, I had to include on top here maintenance. The funnel you can't trust it, but even with the unreliability of grid, you can't predict the cost. Fuel is here today, is not there tomorrow. there's still even what we call a hidden cost that people don't even talk about, the maintenance cost to maintain your power generating assets, right? All of that. At the end of the day, what do you get? Interruptions to your business, there's no production. So you see that energy is not just an operational cost, it's truly a strategic business decision, right? It's truly a strategic business decision. Is energy just an operational cost? No, it's a strategic business decision because businesses are here to make profit. Now, what is the biggest mistake that businesses make? And I went into much detail in our previous webinar, but I'll still say it here. One large mistake businesses make is not fully understanding how solar works. That's just the one thing. Not fully understanding how solar works, not fully understanding what your power needs are. In fact, if I was to maybe if I probably should have reviewed this slide so you wouldn't take out the solar entirely to say not fully understanding, how power works, how energy works, not fully understanding your needs, right? Not fully understanding your energy profile, not fully understanding what will work best for you. There's an experience I had when I first started working in this business. Over the number of years I've worked, right? This was in the early 2020s, thereabouts. So I was having a conversation with a client, a business person. And then I was so excited, I was so keen. Wow, commercial and industrial solar. Yes, it's going to help. You're going to save a lot of money for your business. Just install solar during the daytime. You don't need any other source of power. Just use the solar alone during the day, and you'll not need NEPA. You will not need to turn on your generator. Right, nothing. And I was so excited. Of course, the client was like, wow, this is amazing. This works. But then I thank God for that experience because at the end of the day, by the time I went back and started working on the solution for the client, I realized I had made such a big mistake. I put a face palm here. So imagine going with confidence and trying to get a client to buy a solar solution from you, and only for you to go back and realize that what you actually sold was wrong. It was like false. So what was the mistake that I made, right? It was a series of mistakes. The first one, I didn't fully understand what the client's needs was. And that's the first mistake that businesses make, right? Not fully understanding what your needs are. And how do you understand what are your needs? Not just, I need power now. How do you need the power? So to just summarize, the biggest mistake is you don't really understand how solar works. Now, there are different kinds of renewable energy sources, but in Nigeria, the largest one right now is solar. So understanding how solar works is very, very important. And please, like Jumoke mentioned, I will make reference to our previous series. I really took my time to talk about the different types of solar systems, right? Demystifying solar solutions. We'll share the link, or we'll have the link. The link is on the YouTube page. But Jumoke, if we can just share it in the chat box, right? So people can just save it and go back to watch it at the end of the session, right? So what do you do? So if one of the biggest mistakes is not knowing how solar works or choosing the wrong system, right? Somebody would install solar solution today, tomorrow, maybe tomorrow is soon, in a month, 2 months or 3 months, the batteries are beeping and they beeped the first day or the first week, right? The inverters are suddenly making sudden noises. So what do we do before we really choose solar? Again, remember that this is to help businesses make the right energy choices, right? Clean energy choices, choose the right solar systems for you. So what do you do before making these decisions? There are a number of questions to ask, right? And again, last webinar, I shared a checklist. It's in the last session as well, but we'll share the link. So, but I'm just going to reiterate. So before choosing solar, what do we do? There are a few questions to ask, right? So it's like, how does your business operate? This is even before you decide to engage any. So how does your business operate? Now, what do I mean? First of all, do you work 7 days a week? Do you work 5 days? Do you work 6 days? Right? If you work 5 days a week or even 4 days a week, is it 24 hours? Is it 8 hours? Is it 10 hours? Is it 12 hours? Right? If you work 24 hours, are all the hours, is the business consistent over the 24 hours, or at the first 3 hours, for a particular part of the business, the next 8 hours for another part of the business, and then the last hours for another part of the business? You really need to understand how your business operates, right? When you break this down, it helps you now know when you consume power. When do you really consume power? Not just when, but how much you consume per session or per time of your business, right? So if your business is a business where you have to move from stage one, stage two to stage three, perhaps in stage one, maybe stage one is just sorting, maybe it's manual sorting, right? You don't really consume a lot of power in stage one. That's fine. But then in stage two, you have to move on to some sort of machine work. You need power, electrical machines, right? You need power. Perhaps in stage three, the same thing. So when do you consume power? Look at your operations. When do you consume this power? Now, once you've seen that, what's the biggest problem? Before choosing, before engaging a solar vendor, what's the biggest problem right now? Is it that there is inconsistent power? Is it that you have downtime? Is the downtime a problem? Is it the cost? Right? Is it the cost of the power that's expensive, being able to provide power across the number of hours? Is it the downtime? Is it that perhaps maybe your business is you only get power from the grid, for example, so you don't have any backup solution? When the grid disappears and you have no control over that, right? Is that the issue? You have to wait for 5 hours or 2 hours, even 30 minutes. Do you understand? What's your biggest problem? Is it expansion? Your business has been stuck. You're thinking of you need to expand your business. You need to grow. Maybe you need to open a new production line. But you notice that the money that you should use to put into the expansion, energy, power is taking a huge chunk of it. Is it sustainability? Are you a business that's focused more on like your global energy outlook? Right? So these are the questions to ask even before choosing solar, because the reality is that not every business needs the same solution. Not every business needs the same solution. Solar is not a one size fits all. It's not. And honestly, if you don't know this, it's fine. I thought, when I hear solar, it's just panel, battery, inverter, chicken. What else are we talking about again? But it's beyond that, right? It's beyond that. So not every business needs the same solution. So you need to understand your energy profile. We're going to move on to now understanding your energy profile. Now, these are steps that you need to take before you make that decision, before you make that investment. Remember, it's helping businesses make the right energy choices, the right one. So I think this is probably just help us again from what I just said, understanding your energy profile. I think when I was thinking about this, I said the best way to do it is to just have like a timeline of the day. We have 24 hours in a day, right? If you can just break it down, because visualize it, right? To understand your energy profile. What are your day operations? Is it just day operations? Do you have night operations? Do you even operate shift work? So do you have 2 shifts in the day? Is it day and night operations that you have? Do you have shift work? Well, what are the hours of the shift? Do you do weekend operations, right? Also consider seasonal changes. Seasonal changes. It's very important. The base criteria to making the right energy choice, honestly, this even goes beyond solar. Even if you want to buy a generator, to be honest, before you even decide on the size of the generator or what to buy, a normal diesel generator or gas generator, you need to understand your energy profile. How are you even going to be using this? So does your business have seasonal changes? Are you a business that now is rainy season, your business is low, right? Maybe or for example, your business is high. Maybe you make umbrellas. Rainy season now, your business is high because rain is falling everywhere, and the other day rain beats me, so I'll probably be your customer. And then during the dry seasons, your business is not, you don't require a lot because your business is low. And of course, you know that this is your business operandi, right? You know that that's how your business operates, so it's fine. So what are the seasonal changes, right? Your energy profile truly determines the solution that you choose, not your neighbor's solution. I once told a story about 2 people, a factory in Kano and a factory in Port Harcourt. It's even, let's assume they're even the same business. They are the same business. They do the exact same thing. Let's even assume that. But then they're in 2 different locations, right? in two different locations, the sun hours, we mentioned that in the last webinar, for the business in Kano is different from the one in the business in Port Harcourt, right? You get more of that again in our last webinar. Okay, so two businesses can be exactly the same, but then they will need different solutions. Not to talk of two businesses that are completely opposite. If two businesses are exactly the same, they have the same day operations, night operations, they do the same shift work, they have the same weekend operations, they have the seasonal changes applies to them exactly. If both of them require two different types of systems, how much more businesses that are not the same? So solar is not a copy and paste. It's not like, oh, I'm my neighbor, I want to put solar in my house. This is my neighbor here. She says she has 5 kVA and it's been working well for her. Do you know what she put on her 5 kVA? So it's not a one size fits all. It's very important to understand your energy profile. Very, very important. And we've seen that there are 4 major energy objectives, right? 4 major ones. These are the major ones, right? There could be more, but from my experience, right, and just generally, these are the 4 major ones. So there are primarily 3 things that businesses want to increase, and there's one major thing that we all want to reduce. We all want to reduce cost. I want my profit to be much more than my expenses, right? I want to increase my profits, right? So I want to reduce my cost. I want to increase reliability, right? I want to improve sustainability. I want to support the growth of my business. But primarily, the one major driver for most businesses is to reduce costs, which is very good. It's very, very good, right? But then businesses have like different objectives. So it's also important to understand what your primary objective is. Perhaps for you now, your profit is okay. You don't really need to reduce costs. Cost is all right, right? You've been able to manage your power system well, but then you want to just increase the reliability, right? You want to improve your sustainability outlook. You're just thinking, these generators I have, I want to, build up my green outlook, right? I want to support the growth of my business. I'm thinking in future terms, right? I like where we are right now, but what can I do to improve my business, to improve my operations as I'm thinking about the future? So what matters most to your business? What matters most to your business? So let's keep that question in mind. What matters most to your business? What matters most to your business? Now, just to take us back elementary level, what are the available energy sources that we have? Right now, available energy sources. So we have a utility, which is a grid, our national grid. We have generators, gas or gen, right? Now, because my specialty and my heart is with solar, I could have just put solar system there, but I said no. Let me break it down, right? So I have daytime solar, I have solar for storage, and I have hybrid systems. And then of course we have gas, and then we have combination systems, right? So where you can have a combination of, like most of us do in Nigeria, we have NEPA, and then we have our own backup generator, right? We want to go a step further. We have NEPA, we have GEM, we have solar. So these are the available energy sources to us. At the end of the day, the goal is power. I want power. I need power to operate my business. My business needs to grow. How do I power my business? Those are the available sources, right? So you see, these are the available sources of power that we have. Just to zoom in a bit on the solar, right? Here I said solar isn't one product, which is why I broke it down here. Solar is not one product, and this one topic. Solar isn't one product; it's 2 webinars. So these are the webinars that we had last year. Demystifying solar hybrid solutions, part 1 and part 2. It's quite extensive and really truly eye-opening if you're not familiar with it, right? If you're not familiar with it. So solar is not just one product. A number of solar products tailored specifically for what your business would want to achieve, all provide different solutions with different benefits. So please, we will have the link to those 2 sessions because this is just a build-up of that. The reason I'm saying it, and it seems quite simple, is because we've actually spent time talking about that. So this is just a build-up on that series, right? But we'll have the link available to rewatch because breaking it down here again is going to take us 3 more hours, all right? Okay. Now, So how do we, businesses, how do you want to make the right solar decision? So someone, when not to invest in solar? Am I telling you not to invest in solar? No, that's not what I'm here to tell you. I'm not here to tell you do not invest in solar because I mean, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, but it's important to understand when not to, right? Or when not to yet, right? So there are a few things that we need to realize. There are a few things that we need to be sure of before you take that step, before you invest. I don't know if you're getting the theme of this presentation, right? The business of solar, helping businesses make the right energy choices. What's the theme is, what do you need to know? What do you need to do before you actually make that solar decision or that energy investment? What do you need to do? What do you need to do? How do you make the right decision? So that's the theme of this presentation. That's basically what it is, right? How do I make the right decision? I want to make the right decision. I don't want to make this investment and tomorrow I feel like I make the wrong move. No. So that's the theme. So what are the things I need to know? What are the things I need to be aware of, right? Before I make this decision. So when not to invest in solar is when you don't have an understanding of your energy usage. Like I explained before, I'll go up to this slide here. When you don't understand your energy usage, you don't understand your energy profile, you don't understand it. It's important to understand it. If you're a business owner, maybe you're CEO, you're a CEO here, or perhaps you're the CFO, you need to and you don't and you feel you say to yourself, honestly, I don't think I really understand this energy profile. This is a call to action. Like you need to have a conversation with like a facility manager or something, right? Or if you run your own business yourself, you need to get next time you get your energy bill, right? You just truly compare it to what you think you did, right? It's very important to understand, very, very important to understand your energy usage. How do you use energy? It's very, very important to understand it, right? When not to invest in solar is when you choose technology before defining the problem. You can't choose the solar system or the solar option for you before you define what the problem is. You must define what the problem is. You must define what the problem is. It's very important that we define what the problem is. So, what's my problem? I'm spending so much on diesel. I'm on band B, I'm on band C, right? In the past 2 days, we've not had lights. I'm burning a lot. What's the problem? When your expectations are unrealistic, somebody will ask, what do you mean? How can my expectations be unrealistic? How? Give me an example of an expectation that is unrealistic. When you're saying, oh, I want solar to only power my business, right? I want a solar system, solar with PV, solar panels, inverters, and batteries to power everything in this my factory, right? But I want to pay, let's say, I want to pay a fraction of what I'm currently paying. Practical example, your business currently is running just on NEPA, right? So when NEPA takes light, you don't have backup generator. You pause, you wait till NEPA brings light. So because you've arranged your business around the availability of NEPA. And let's say, for example, in a month, your energy bill is like 3 million naira. And now you say, you know what, me, I'm tired of these interruptions. The interruption is too much. I want to have power. I want reliable power all the time. It's like, oh, fantastic. You're going to need a battery solution, which is a type of the solar system. Okay, yes, I want batteries. I want system that can carry everything 247. But I want to pay less than how much I'm paying now for NEPA. Just pause. If me, I'll just tell you, auntie, uncle, wait first. Just wait. I don't think it's time to invest yet. I don't think so. So when your expectations are unrealistic, when there's no energy audits conducted, you don't know the energy profile, how you spend the energy, you don't even know how much. When the system was not designed around your business, like I said before, want to just copy your neighbor's business. No, this is my neighbor. I like what she's using. Just do it for me. Please just pause. Just wait. It's not yet time to invest. It's not yet time to invest. So you must understand your energy usage. You must you must define the problem before you choose the technology. You must truly sit down and really think about what your expectations are. Do a proper energy audit. Do a proper one. Don't just copy and paste your neighbor's system, right? Don't just copy and paste it. Okay, so if that's what happens if I should not go ahead, when I'm unsure of this thing. So when do I know I'm ready? When do I know I'm ready? There are 5 pillars: energy, operations, infrastructure, finance, and growth. Those are the 5 pillars that, in my experience, I've really seen that are key. So when do I know I'm ready for solar in my business? Energy is the what. So you know what it is you actually want. You know the energy required. So that's the what. So you're able to quantify it. Then the operations is very clear. If somebody comes and asks you, oh, what are your operations like? In a heartbeat, you can say, oh, we work 12 hours in a day. Between the hours of this and this is what we do. This is what your operations are clear. It's clear. And every day of the week, if it's different operations, every day of the week, you have it. Now, the where, the infrastructure. Oh, I see I'm missing an A there. I beg your pardon. Infrastructure, not infrastructure. Pardon me. The where, infrastructure. So the building, right? Beyond just doing the energy audits, the facility itself or the factory needs to be assessed. It needs to be assessed. So what's your infrastructure like? What's your facility like? What do you need? What can it contain? One of the saddest things for me in my line of work is, having conversation with a business owner, with a client, right? And you really see that they've done their own due diligence. They've identified their pain points when it comes to power. They know what they want to do, right? But then by the time you do an assessment, right, you realize that the energy that they need, the capacity of the solar panels in particular, that they need to generate the power that is required for their business, they don't have enough space for it. They don't have enough space. Their roof cannot contain everything. If there's no roof, what can we do? We can do a carport, fantastic. But then there's even not enough space. So you have to look at your infrastructure. Where? Now, finance, the cost, right? Finance. Have you worked out do you have a breakdown of how much you're currently spending, right? Have you done a cost benefit analysis? It's very, very important. Very, very important. The finance. What's your mindset towards that finance, right? In fact, I shouldn't have even put cost here. I should have put investment because, like we've established last year and even this year, solar is not something you buy; it's an investment. Have you got to the point where you feel like, oh, this business is okay, or are you going to grow? What are your future plans? By the time you get to this solar, how do you think it's going to impact your business beyond, the initial and obvious reasons of reliability and cost savings, right? What are some of the softer benefits? How is it going to impact your growth? Case study. I think I already mentioned this before. But business A, they wanted lower diesel, right? And then they installed storage. That's a solar storage system, right? Says they didn't need it. They ended up spending extra. So what does this mean? I'll break it down. I'll just put bullet points here so it's quite clear. So you have 2 businesses. One wanted to reduce their diesel cost, right? And business B just needed reliability. So wanted to reduce their diesel cost and is a large factory. And they installed a storage system. Like I explained before, what are your expectations? You have to make expectations real. They installed the battery. They insisted, no, I want batteries so I can carry everything, every single thing. And they installed it. The truth is, they didn't need that extra storage. Perhaps what they needed was just a daytime solution. If their business is running 24 hours, maybe what they just need was just something just for daytime, but they installed storage for 24 hours. Or perhaps what they needed was just a grid-tied solution without storage. Now they put that storage, they realized they didn't even need it, and they spent extra because of their business model. Business B knew that, see, cost is not an issue for me. I'm okay. What I just need is reliability. So they install storage. What's reliability? I want power all the time. So they install storage. And that was the best decision for them because cost was not a primary driver for them. And that was a perfect decision. So again, there's no universal solution. Before you make a decision for solar for your business, even for your home, if you're a homeowner here and you're keen to understand, you need to really sit down and discuss with your solar vendor, right? You need to have that conversation and be open. This is what I want to achieve. This is my pain point. So that you get a system that is tailor-made for you. So this one is for, again, business owners here. following this slide. So you can imagine you're a business owner now and you factored in your rate of a return on your investment. Okay, so solar is an investment, and then you're in this red box. How do you feel? Businesses want to make profit, like I said, right? So we need to have that. Even when you're considering solar for a business, have that ROI conversation. There's so many things you need to know. Your operating expenses, capital expenses, right? I want to know, by the time I put this solar, when is it going to pay back? Because it's an investment. Last session, we established that solar is beyond cost. It's an investment based on what you need, right? So even before you make that decision, so many things. Again, it seems so repetitive, but this thing seems simple. But if you're a business owner here, you understand that this is very important before you make that decision. Power is a primary factor of your business, right? So let's not just see solar as okay, to work a bit to not work. It's a massive investment. So you have to look at your operating expenses, capital expenses, right? To do this solar now, are you going to do an outright purchase? There's so many business models now in the market, so many. So you're going to be an outright purchase, right? If you're doing an outright purchase, when is that bulk money going to? When are you going to be able to pay back, right? Do you want to do a financing option? Your cash flow will determine that, right? It will really determine that. Installing solar can give you a competitive advantage. Again, I think I just included this slide here, but I broke it down in the previous session. Just as a business owner, when you're thinking of profits, what's the benefit of this? These are the things that come to your mind, right? Just as we wrap up, because of the time that we have, I think I have 3 more minutes or so. So what are 3 major takeaways? For me, 1, energy decisions are business decisions. It's not something that you just wake up and say, I just want to put solar. These are business decisions. Because see how it ties around cost, it ties around your expenses, ties around even your profit making, it ties around satisfying customers. Because beyond the obvious benefits, there's some soft benefits of solar. If, for example, you run a hospital, I have a client that's a hospital, right? And after a couple of months, we went back. So how is it working? And it was interesting to hear from the client that beyond the savings, that the environment has been made better for both their staff and their clients, but their patients, because there's constant power now. People's countenance generally better, right? Is generally better just by that one power decision. So this is beyond, if somebody's talking about, I need to go to a hospital, or somebody's sharing an experience, for example, that hospital I went to, and they took lives, and the gen had the problem, could not start. Someone can say, no, go to this one. I enjoyed my time there. Even though I was sick, but I enjoyed my time there. So energy decisions are business decisions. Solar is not one size fits all, right? And honestly, the cheapest solution is really the smartest. Rarely. I know we want to save cost. That's why we said solar is an investment. What is the goal? So the goal is not just to install solar. It is to really build a smarter and a more resilient business. It's not just to install it. We want to build a business that is smarter and more resilient. Resilient to what? Remember our funnel from the second or third slide. Resilient to grid inconsistencies, resilient to price fluctuations, right? That's really what the goal is. That's really what the goal is. Not just about installing solar, but you want to get a system that is smart for your business, right? This is my trusted strategy. Right? And this is what I've seen. This is just a summary of everything that we've said. And this is a strategy that businesses use, right? Businesses that have installed solar. This is a strategy that they've used, and it's a smart strategy. It's a good way to put it. We all know like the SMART acronym. SMART acronym, one of the most commonly used acronyms. But for this one, is study your energy profile. S, measure your costs. I spoke about the cost benefit analysis earlier. So measure your cost. Right? Measure your cost. Assess available solutions. Assess them. So do a comprehensive analysis. Right? Remember the case study, business A and business B. Okay, these are the solutions available, but which one do I need? Because you don't need all of them. Review the business case for your business. I want to reduce my diesel cost. If I put all battery, does it make sense? How will it affect? I end up spending so much more and I'll be so irritated. I have to now come and spend more to decommission. And then T, transform with the right technology. Transform with the right technology. All of this is just to get us to make the right decision, choosing the right solution for you. Choosing the right solution for you. I'll be honest to say this is a very simplified conversation, just to give us that understanding and to make it very plain and very clear. It's a very simplified one. But this is a strategy that works. It seems very simple. I know my energy profile. Truly, do you really know? Did you really sit down to measure the cost? And cost is both indirect and direct cost. Measure your cost. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Jumoke, I hope I have not gone beyond the time allocated and try to stay within time. But so that's it for me. Again, I would just say that the theme, I think this slide is like the primary slide. So why the conversation matters, right? Because you see businesses, they spend a lot. You're complaining, I'm spending so much. My energy bill has increased still. Okay, your energy bill has increased, you complain. They'll say, oh yeah, install solar now. Solar is cheaper. You will now still install solar and you're still paying a lot on either diesel or other costs. Right? But I installed the solar. Why is my own not working? There's a system to getting the right solution for you. The summary is that solar is not a one size fits all, right? You need to understand how to make the right decision for you. And the good news is you don't have to think alone. We have a partner like myself, like GMG Limited, right? I'll chip that in here. We do this analysis for you, we review for you, for your business, and we hope you make the right decision for you. A decision like the hospital that I mentioned that have gained both direct and indirect benefits from the solar system. When they mentioned, even just the countenance of the staff, the environment of the hospital, it wasn't really something I was expecting, but it's amazing to see that. So beyond the books, beyond the numbers, right? But you must make the right decision. Thank you so much, everyone. And I really hope that this was insightful and helpful. Over to you, Jumoke.
Thank you very much, Chisom. That was really insightful, and you really showed us practical examples of how important solar solutions are for businesses. Please, a round of applause for our speaker today. Thank you so much, Ma. Now, let's move on to the Q&A sessions. If you have any questions, please submit them in the chat, or you can also raise up your hand and speak when called. Okay, so while we wait for the questions to come in, you can also quickly go to the ThinkyHearts YouTube channel where you'll find the recordings of Chisom's previous webinars, Demystifying Solar Hybrid Solutions from Basic to Business Impact. The link is in the chat, so you can just save it or subscribe to the channel so you can come back to it after the session. Aside from the webinar from Chisom, we also have many other expert sessions on sustainability, clean energy, artificial intelligence, and innovation. And this webinar as well that we are having right now is being recorded and will be available on the YouTube channel as well by next week. So you can stay connected by following us on all our social media platforms and visiting our website for updates on future webinars and projects. So we have a question in the chat box. Ogboro Sam says that what's the realistic payback period for a solar hybrid system for a business running on generators, like at least 8 to 9 hours plus a day?
Okay, I was muted, sorry. Thank you so much, Ogboro Sam, for that question. Well, the first thing I'll say is this. Like I mentioned before, the business case is different, right? Because there are a number of factors to consider before determining the payback period. But I want to just assume that your question is if you make the investments outright, because I spoke about financing options for solar systems as well. So for businesses who are unable to, awesome, yeah, okay, so that's good, perfect. I assume that's what the question is going to be. Honestly, again, I cannot give a specific payback period now because for a business using generators for 8 to 9 hours, two businesses that have the same thing, their solar system may be different. It depends on a number of factors. The battery size, the size of the system, because it could be a 50 kV generator versus a 1 kMVA generator. So that's just to say, right? But on an average, from what I've seen so far, you can use an average of from the third year. This is just a blanket statement. Just I know you want an answer. So I would say between 3 to 5 years, right? But this is highly, please, I want to put this here, but we hear Kali, highly dependent on the actual specifics of the solution that was designed. Because right now you've not given me the size of generators, you've not given me that's which is one of the major factors. I don't have such generators right now, right? And I cannot tell what system we're going to go for, right? Is it going to be a daytime system? Is it going to be batteries? So remember the different types of solutions, right? But on average, from what I've seen, right, all factors being equal, I'll say from between 3 to 5 years, thereabouts.
Thank you very much, Chisom. I hope that answers your question, Sam.
But if you want a more detailed breakdown, right, let's talk. I can, Jumoke, it's okay to share my email address or something?
Yeah,
How do
yeah,
we,
yeah.
it's fine. Okay, so we do that. So we do that. As I said, before you do, you need to consult like a professional like myself, right? So we can actually look at the numbers and you know exactly, right? You know exactly what's going to give you. So I'll just share with you my email address. So feel free to send me an email and let's look at it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chisom. So, Sam, you can reach out to her and she will assist you with any further inquiries regarding that. We also have a hand raised from Mr. Sheung. You can go ahead with your question, sir.
Oh, thank you so much, Ma. Good afternoon, Ma. Fantastic presentation. Just a quick question from a fellow solar enthusiast like yourself, and you get we also have our solar outfit. The calculations are cool and everything, and I even loved how I think it was the person who asked the question right now phrased his question, and he said something about what's the realistic payback period for a solar hybrid system running on generators like at least 8 to 9 hours. And I loved how you were even pitching that solar is not necessarily, you get, why not to invest in solar. I was like, that's really bold of a business developer. So that shows you know your onions. But from a fellow solar person, thank you so much for the email. From a fellow solar person, we have our solar outfit. I don't need to mention it out there. I'm not here to advertise, but my question is, it's not really about the payback period for people, if we are being honest. I have like a ton of people in our DM that want to do our buy now, pay later plan at my outfit. And when you look at the buy now, pay later plan, we know all the lingos. Okay, bring your bank statement and all that, so we can check for your credit worthiness. I think the discussion that I wanted to like hear more from this, and I don't know if you can address this, is how do we penetrate those people that they need solar, but they cannot even pay back the buy now pay later payment. Like for us now, we will tell you that for our buy now pay later, you need 20%. So I have somebody in my DM right now that is saying, okay, I need a load of 5,000 load and everything, and I have so and so amount. We went for site inspection at his house in some remote area in Abeokuta on Sunday. I mean, when I say remote, Elega, we took about 45 minutes. There was a new building. But guess what? Realistically, he can't even afford the 20%. So from the business angle, when you see a customer that they really want the solar, but they can't afford that 20% upfront that you want, and their bank statement is not speaking the credit worthiness language that we know we need, how do you still get them the solution? That's my question, man.
Thank you so much. I don't even know who was speaking. What's your name? Okay, Sheon, I can see it. Sheon at Deconme. Fantastic question, honestly. And this is a challenge that I've seen, right? Not in my current work role, but then working with like the public sector and working with organizations that did market research and advocacy for renewable energy systems, right? Servicing last mile customers is still something that we're working in the market to fix. Now, I don't have an answer for you, that's the truth, and I'm not even afraid to say that because my current job is tailored more towards commercial and industrial organizations, right? However, I do believe that for to service last mile communities, there should be perhaps look more into honestly, I honestly don't have an answer for you. That's the truth. I honestly don't know because that's not my specialty, right? My client base is more for business owners, right? So businesses who are really trying to reduce their costs. I'm just trying to maybe speak, maybe just have the conversation with you based on my previous experience and just like personal interactions with people that deal with last mile communities, like you've mentioned. And it's not an easy market because one of the questions that we get, one of the questions that we see, even with those who are able to do mini grids, whether it's donor funded or grant funded, donor funds and grant funds, is that question is still there, right? How do we get our return on investment? I don't have an answer for that. Perhaps we can look into it together, or if you are able to sort it out, you let me know. But honestly, that's not my specialty for now, right? So my own area right now, this conversation is still more to businesses, that want to make that decision to get solar and what they need to do, the steps they need to take to make that decision.
Thank you very much, Ma. I believe that we'll be able to iterate more after this discussion on how we can better serve those within the brackets that Mr. Shion is talking about. So we will not be able to take any further questions because of time constraints. And as we come to the end of today's webinar, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to Ms. Chisom Okoye for another insightful and engaging session. Thank you once again, Ma, for sharing your expertise and for helping us to better understand how businesses can make smarter energy decisions. We also extend our sincere thanks to everyone who joined us today in the middle of a workday. Your participation, thoughtful questions, and engagement are what make these conversations even more meaningful. If you enjoyed today's webinar, we encourage you to continue your learning journey by visiting the ThinkyHearts YouTube channel at ThinkyHearts. You can also check our website at www.thinkyhearts.com or send us an email at info@thinkyhearts@gmail.com. Thank you once again for joining us today. On behalf of everyone at ThinkyHearts, we wish you a wonderful rest of the day and we look forward to welcoming you to another ThinkyHearts webinar soon. Do stay connected to our social media channels so you can stay updated on our upcoming webinars and projects. Thank you, stay safe, and goodbye.